Hi guys, in this episode of Plami's Thoughts On, I'm gonna be sharing my thoughts on the Fullmetal Alchemist 2003 series, since we finished reacting to it relatively recently. Well, for me, it's been about 3 weeks, I think, more or less. 3 weeks since I reacted to it. If you didn't realize that a lot of time has passed since I've cut my hair, it's already kind of grown out a little bit again. And honestly, the biggest reason why I'm doing this is not because I really have too much to say about this show that I didn't already say in my reactions, but because I've kinda been feeling a little regretful about how quickly I breezed through the show in terms of recording the reactions. Because for those of you who don't know, I record videos ahead of time. Quite literally months ahead of time at this point, because I'm still, at the point of recording this video, I'm still uploading the last couple of reactions to TMNT 2012, and those videos are being uploaded in June, in late June, and I recorded them in like March, so there's a lot of time between the releases. And when I started doing the reactions to Fullmetal Alchemist again with the cool new thumbnails and everything, I literally reacted to all of those like 30 or so episodes in like a week. Which for me, it's pretty fucking quick. And it's not that I didn't enjoy it, but I feel like I didn't really get the full experience that I could have if I took my time a little bit more. Even if I just extended it to like 2 weeks and not just finish it in like 1 week. Because after I was done reacting to the show, I started thinking back to episodes that we had watched like a couple of days prior, like episode 30 something I think it was, I don't know, like in those range of episodes, which I kind of felt they were a little bit boring, and I realized how entertaining they actually were. So I actually feel that Fullmetal Alchemist 2003 is not really a show you should binge, at least not on your first watch, when you don't know the plot and you haven't seen it and you don't remember it. I don't think it's a show that you should binge, because I feel like you don't really get the full weight of it. Because I've only started to realize how entertaining and how good and high quality and how much depth those episodes actually had. Because when I was watching them, I was kind of like bored by them because I wasn't getting exciting moments. Which, again, I guess you could blame TMNT 2012 for that a little bit, because at that point in time, it had kind of trained me to expect like excitement and batshit insane events happening, and that was the thing that kind of entertained me and I was looking for in my reactions. But then Fullmetal Alchemist 2003 is a completely different kind of show, so we don't really get much of that in it. But I still think it was actually a really, really entertaining show. I loved the story. I love the vibes. I'm definitely going to be rewatching that show for myself in the future. And also, I will be doing a top episode video at some point this year, most likely late fall, once I move back to the other place, because I want to do it with a more of a high quality and everything. And I also still have to do a top list video to TMNT 2012 and Transformers thematic, because I haven't done for a video like that for that one. I've only done so far for TMNT 2003, but I've already uploaded that one. So yeah, I really do regret breezing through it, but I still think it was a really entertaining show, and that's why I've actually officially decided that I will be reacting to Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I don't know if I mentioned that in any of the videos, especially like the final one, but I've officially decided that I'm going to do that because my hunger for more Fullmetal Alchemist content is just not being satiated by anything right now. Even by rewatching it, it wouldn't be. So yeah, I will be watching Brotherhood, although it's not going to be like right after the next show that I'm reacting to, which is Generator X. It's gonna be a little bit after. At some point next year is when I'm gonna be reacting to it. It's gonna be reacted to in between the first Ben 10 series, which is the OG one, and the Ben 10 Alien 4 series. In between it is when I'm going to be reacting to it. And I can't wait, honestly. I'm really excited to get to watch it because I've heard a lot of good about it. It's definitely a different take with a different tone and everything, but I still just want more Fullmetal Alchemist content. And if the action is there, I'm going to be enjoying it quite a lot. But yeah, going back to the 2003 series, I mean, honestly, I just don't really have much to say about it. Like I said, I did enjoy watching it. I did enjoy all the characters. I love the depth that it has. But ultimately, the thing that I do love about it the most is still the ending. Like, the closer we get to the final episodes, I feel like the show is, like, at its best. Like, the final 10 or so episodes are actually really good. And especially the final 3 episodes and the movie is what I love about this show. I do feel like it didn't deliver on certain things though, so I don't think it's like an infallible show or anything. Because like, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned that in the reactions. We saw some really cool scenes in the intros, for this show, but we never really got any of that. Like, for example, the most notorious one for me is that one scene in the intro where you have Greed fighting against Ed. And sure, we got that one fight, but it had nothing to do with the shot that we got in the intro, and I thought that we were gonna get that. Like, I feel like the intros of this show were really goddamn lying about everything. Like, they were really misleading. And I feel like all the cool shit that I thought this show was going to be doing was in the goddamn intros. And nothing that we actually faced off in the series had anything to do with the things that we saw in the intro. Like, you know that snake creature or whatever it is that you see in the intro? Where was that? Did I miss it? Where the fuck was that? So I feel like my perception for the show was definitely influenced by the intro a lot, as well as the finale for the show. And that middle part for me kinda lacked a little bit of that nostalgia that made me enjoy the intros, the beginning, and the end of the show. But still, there were plenty to like about it. I like how many characters this show has and how much depth and development gives, even to the very like random ones, like that one girl who was like a bookworm who could remember everything. Like, she was actually on the show for quite a while. She was like a surprisingly major character there. And I did grow to like all of the side characters, like Hughes, Mustang. Obviously, I loved him. Um, Hughes' death definitely hurts the more you watch the show and the more you think about it. Like I said during that episode, I was actually more mad that he died rather than sad. Um, but it is definitely a sad death, and it's definitely handled pretty well because he was like one of the most major comic relief characters until that point in the show. So to see him die definitely hurts like a bitch. Um, but it was just frustrating that he didn't make smarter decisions to survive that. But I guess you do need to have some characters to die in this show. It is a little annoying how nobody else really dies though. I feel like maybe we should have had a couple more deaths, but we really didn't. I do wish that the visuals for this show were a little better though, because I think that's one of the reasons why I enjoy Conqueror of Shambhala so much. It's because it looks so damn beautiful, man. It looks so good. And that is also one of the reasons why I'm interested in checking out Brotherhood, because it's a more modern series, so it's obviously going to be higher quality or more HD and more higher budgeted. Although there is definitely that little issue that I have with it, where I think the art style is a little different, and I'm obviously used to and I prefer the more hard art style that we have in the 2003 series, where in the Brotherhood series it seems a little bit more floaty and loose. So we'll see about that, but yeah, it still looks fine. Like, I enjoy the style of it and everything. And for the most part, like I don't really care too much about the visuals because the plot and the writing was really good, but I just love the visuals of the movie, man, so damn much. That's why the thumbnail for this video is a shot from the movie and not from the series. Um, but yeah, um, there's not really much to say that I haven't already said in my review reactions, so I don't want to just regurgitate everything that I've already said. But like, I love the story, I love everything. And I guess I'll have more to say once I've watched through Brotherhood, because I do want to compare Brotherhood and this series in how they do their story and which one does it better, because I know they are very different. And I feel like there were certain foreshadowings for where the story actually goes in Brotherhood, because you must remember, halfway through the 2003 version of Fullmetal Alchemist, they run out of the material because it was still being written, whereas Brotherhood was adapting the full finished story. So there might have been some foreshadowing in the 2003 series that we never really got to see, but we do get to see it in the Brotherhood series. And I'm pretty sure there is certain things like that, but I don't want to talk about it right now because I want to watch through it first. Um, but yeah, it was a great story. I honestly really like the kind of, I don't know, occult gothic uh, take that the 2003 series has. I've watched a few glimpses of like the first episode of Brotherhood because I was still contemplating whether I wanted to watch uh, the show and do it like a reaction for it, or whether I wanted to watch somebody else's reaction to it, particularly Blind Wave. Um, and I saw a little bit, like I watched a little bit of it, and that's when I decided I wanted to do a reaction to it. And it definitely feels like that one is going to be much less gory than the 2003 series, which again is one of the things that I love about the 2003 series, how gory and brutal it is and mature it is. Like, how did that shit fly as a cartoon? Seriously. You thought like TMNT 2003 was gory and brutal? This is like on a whole another level. This is like straight up Invincible level shit. And I'd say it's like worse than Invincible, because Invincible has that kind of tone where, yes, it takes the brutality seriously, but not too seriously. You know, there is that little bit of like over the topness, like The Boys, where yes, it's brutal and it's gory, but it's also kind of silly in the same way. Whereas Fullmetal Alchemist 2003 plays it completely straight, and that's why it hits you that much harder. So that's definitely gonna be something that I'm gonna miss in Brotherhood, but I did enjoy that about the 2003 series. Um, I gotta say, um, this is gonna be kind of like an out of nowhere comparison, but I'm shocked at how similar, tonally and in some concepts, um, Ghost Whisperer and Full Metal Alchemist 2003 actually are. Because, like, if you didn't know, I've been watching and reacting to Ghost Whisperer on the channel. Honestly, I think you should check it out. I think it's a pretty good show. At least the first season, I really, really enjoyed so far, especially the finale. If nothing else, check out the finale for season 1, because it's a crazy ride, man. Um, and I've really enjoyed how similar the tone of those two things is, because I feel like Fullmetal Alchemist 2003 is like very morbid and very like kind of like existential, I guess is another word to use, just like Ghost Whisperer. So that is a really cool comparison between the two. I honestly think Fullmetal Alchemist is a show prime for like live action adaptation as a series. And I know that that shit doesn't usually work really well, but I really wish that they would do that. And I know that there is like some kind of like weird live action adaptation, but I don't know if it's just like a short thing, whether it's a fan made thing, whether it's an actual movie. I know there is something like that, but I also haven't really heard that it's good. So there's that. But I would really love like an actual like show for adults, uh, live action based on this. I think it could be really cool, or at the very least, a higher budgeted remake of the 2003 series. That's something that I would definitely like. And there is a worry that I have for how much I would actually like Brotherhood, because a big part, like I've said, a big part of why I actually enjoy Fullmetal Alchemist is the concept at the end with the gate and the parallel universe on the other side of the gate, which is the real world, our world. I just really like that concept. It's stuck with me since I watched it as a child, and I just love it. And as much as I like the concept of alchemy and everything, I don't know whether I'll actually end up enjoying Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood as much. I think essentially the way I'm gonna end up feeling about it is pretty much the way I felt about TMNT 2012 versus TMNT 2003. TMNT 2003 is still like a series that is near and dear to my heart, that I love everything about: the style, the writing, the characters, the plot, like the visuals, everything about it I love. But I've also grown to love the 2012 series in its own way. Though still, I think the 2003 is superior, and it's definitely the one that I have sentimental feelings towards. It's more sentimental to me. Um, and that's probably the same way I'm gonna feel about Transformers Prime whenever I react to it. Or was it Transformers Animated? I don't remember which one of the two it was. The CGI Transformers one that was on Nickelodeon around the same time as TMNT 2012. That's how I'm gonna feel about it, probably in comparison to Transformers Armada, which is my favorite Transformers cartoon. Because again, I watched it as a kid, and I have emotional attachment to it. Yeah, I know I'm getting sidetracked with a lot of this, but I just don't really have too much to say about the show that I haven't already said. It's not really a show that you can talk about without being prompted about stuff, so I really want to have a discussion about it with you guys. I really, really do. And I guess I'm gonna be able to talk about it more once we react to the Brotherhood series, because I will get a lot of prompts about, hey, remember this and how it was in the 2003 series? Yeah, I like that better. You're probably gonna hear a lot of that once I get to do that, but yeah. Ultimately, I just want to apologize for breezing through the reactions so fast, because I literally reacted to them in like 4 days. That's why I wear the exact same outfit in every single one of those reactions, but I just kind of had to do it, and I feel like there was probably no other way for me to do those reactions, because I was just really, really too adamant to get to the finale, to get to the cool concept that I remember from the show with like the parallel universes. There was no way where there's no timeline in which I would have reacted to it slower and taken my time before I got to the most exciting part of the show for me. I kind of almost did the same thing with like Ghost Whisperer season 1, because like I said, I loved it. It's very similar, and I've been watching through it, and I finished it like a couple of days ago. But just like with Fullmetal Alchemist, the best part of that season, and in my opinion, the whole show of Ghost Whisperer, is the ending of season 1, and it's just such an exciting and impactful event that happens in the end, that I was just really adamant to get to it as soon as possible. Although I definitely took my time a little bit more, because at the end of the day, the live action TV shows episodes are like twice the length of a cartoon. So essentially, whenever I react to like 4 episodes, which is like 2 videos, I've reacted essentially to like 8 cartoon episodes. So it is much more. But yeah, I feel like maybe once I rewatch the show for myself, I might have more to say. So you might get a sequel video after this. But yeah, as it stands, I really love this show. It's great in almost every way. The only thing, like I said, that I feel like it was lacking was the action, but the writing was strong enough to where I don't really care about it too much. It's just that based on the way I watched through it, with like doing reactions and everything, I was just looking for that excitement in the action, and we didn't really get that. If I was watching it for myself, I would have probably enjoyed it just fine. So all things said, in terms of a rating, I think I'm going to go with a 9.4 out of 10 for this show as a whole. It could honestly easily be a 10 out of 10 if we count, if we ignore the action issues, but I think the most fair and accurate rating that I could give this show is like a 9.4 out of 10. And honestly, maybe I'll have more to say for this show as well whenever I do the top list video, which, considering that this show has 51 episodes and a movie, I think it's pretty obvious which one is going to be number one, because I will be counting the movie as well. I'm gonna try to not go for like the obvious choice there, but I'm probably gonna do top 15 episodes of the show, because I feel like doing a top 10 is kind of lame, so I want to do something a little bit more. So we're probably gonna go with top 15. Top 20 might be a little bit too much, so top 15 is most likely what we're gonna go with. So yeah, I guess post your own top 15 in the comments below. Let's see, what do you guys think about the episodes of this show. I'm gonna try not to get influenced by your choices though, so there's that. But yeah, like I said earlier, I do want to have a discussion with you guys about this show. So comment down below any opinions or questions that you have for me to answer in regards to this show. And yeah, let's have a discussion about it. And also, before we end this video, I just want to give a huge shout out to my currently 2 patrons on Patreon, Deadpool and Justin. Thank you guys for your support. I really appreciate it. It really means a lot to me. You have decided to support me, you have continued to support me for such a long time. Hope you continue to enjoy my content and continue to support me going forward. Thank you very much. Another thing that I also want to tell you guys before we end this video is something about me that some of you may or may not know, that will also explain why do I look and dress the way that I do. That being the fact that I am trans. In particular, I am somewhere between a non-binary person and a trans woman. I'm not quite sure at the moment and probably won't be sure until I talk to a professional who deals with trans people, but that is where the reason why I'm telling you all this comes. I need your help. Due to the fact that I live in a homophobic and transphobic Eastern European country with a family that won't really accept the fact that I'm trans if they found out, there is not really a feasible or easy way for me to transition here with minimal repercussions. So that's why I would really appreciate any kind or any amount of support that you guys can give me with this. That said, I don't want to guilt trip you or anything, so if you don't want to or you don't have the means to help out, that's fine, don't feel bad. I just want you to know that it would be greatly appreciated if you did help me out get out of this situation. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and thank you for hearing me out. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Also, check out the description to my Twitter if you want to follow me over there, and to my Wattpad where I post my stories, because in addition to doing all these videos on my channel, I'm also a writer. And if you enjoy my stories or simply enjoy my videos, you can head over to my Patreon or to my Ko-fi account, where you can pledge support and help keep the channel going, help support me so I can keep writing stories you enjoy. But if you don't want to do it, that's completely fine. You can still help me out in other ways, like liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and especially sharing this video with somebody who you think might enjoy it. And I think that's pretty much it for this video, so hopefully I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye!